Hi there, Wessex Blades, and I use my 20 years of experience within manufacturing, engineering and education in order to save people time, money and hopefully injuries. Now in the past I've done quite a bit of prepping advice tips, my little 2 cents. Haven't been doing it quite so regularly over the last few years because I've been doing other things like being a knife maker. So if anybody's watching this because they've seen the title of the video and in their own little mind, this whole coronavirus has started to make them worried and they're looking for ideas. It's as a concept they haven't really thought about in any way. If you've come across my channel, if you see things like sharp objects, that's because I work in it, okay? So don't think that I'm some strange man who's got a garden full of, army vehicles or an underground bunker. I'm literally the normal man in the street who just thinks a bit different than everybody else. Okay, so if you're new to the idea of prepping, all prepping is using your mindset, okay, is using your attitude, is safely using your investments in equipment, food, people, clothing, your vehicle, your house, the storage of the things that you've got in your house, and just your general attitude that you will be more self-reliant should things suddenly go south. Okay, we're not all Mad Max. I think is the initial thing I'd like to say to everybody who's coming to the channel, who's not aware of what a prepper is, other than that you've seen my mate Andrew Lincoln in Clutterbuck in the Walking Dead or something. It's already the apocalypse. It's already the road. Okay, so we've just had Italy basically on lockdown today, so I think it's the 10th of March. It could be 5 days, it could be 2 weeks, it could be a month, and other countries could start falling like dominoes, where moving around is going to be restricted, thereby only necessary journeys are going to be allowed. How is it going to be enforced? And of course everybody's grabbing what they can from the supermarkets, and it's all getting a little bit worried, and people not knowing exactly what's going on, news reports flying left, right and centre, and so maybe a little bit of calm rationale might be what you need to hear. Okay, so I'm just gonna lay some ideas out. You sit down and make some notes, try and get your mind into the concept of what prepping is. Okay, most people's idea of it is squirreling away stuff for the end of the world. It could well be, 20 years time there may be an asteroid to come along and that's lights out. There could be we got this killer virus thing going on now. It's a really bad flu. So we got supermarkets in England already limiting your numbers of purchase, not volumes, not weights, numbers of purchase. So it's not that bad yet. If you're going to start buying things in order that you have it, okay, and you don't run out of it, what would things that you need to be getting? What are those ideas that you need to get in your mind now? So, being our animals, okay, what can we only last a few days without? Water. Okay, so if you haven't got your mind into the concept of clean drinking water, just try and grasp that for a week. Okay, if the water turned off, we couldn't use a washing machine, you get around that, maybe you'd wash. Okay, but the drinking water, if you've got no idea on how to purify water that you may have got, just consider storing some water in the garden. That's rainwater. We've had so much rain over the last 4 months in England if you haven't got a water butt or a kiddie's paddling pool, or you've left your swimming pool set up over the winter, or just loads of general buckets. That water, okay, if you strain it through a mesh of some description, like a load of t-shirts, to get as much material out of it as possible, so that you've got what looks to be clean water, okay, listen to my words, what I'm saying. You strain it and clean it by pouring it through something. You're not trying to purify it, you're trying to clean it. Because every tiny little particle of dirt, stuff floating around, has nasties, bacteria, okay, collected around it. Every nook and cranny within that microscopic dot of dirt, okay, is more opportunity for nasty bugs to hide in. So the more dirt you get out in the t-shirt that you've poured it through, the less work you got to do later to purify it. Now, whether you do it chemically or you do it using heat, which is expensive and time consuming, and you can't really do it with plastic containers, okay? So I would say you need a vast source of plastic tubs, or maybe 2 or 3 metal ones, in order to store rainwater. So if you've got a water butt, you should be good for a month if you really ration it in a household, okay? Because it should rain again, okay? You're not going to use it all up unless we've got a drought as well, which then we have a compounded problem. When you've strained the water out and you then are left with the water that's got all the dirt out, you need to consider how much bleach you put into it. I would say if you've got a thing about that big, you need to put about half a teaspoon of bleach in it. Something, right? So you can just taste it, right? But what you need to do is sterilize the water. Me personally, I'd like to boil it, right? If you haven't got cooking stoves, wood burning stoves, gas stoves, transit stoves, paraffin heaters, meth heaters, guys like us, we do that all the time, okay? It's second nature to us, boil water, okay? We'll all have various things around in our arsenal. That's an arsenal, collection of gear, not an arsenal, a collection of weapons like cannons, okay? Relax, we're nice guy, all right? So you need to consider how you're going to purify the water after you've strained it clear. That's once you've got that in your mind, you're on to a winner, okay? Don't think about going down the pond or the local canal, scooping out a great load of water and trying to boil it straight away. Do your utmost to screen out as much as you can first, just to give you the chance. If that was the point that it was where water was rationed, okay? Don't just boil it, screen it first. If you were going to be buying water, then, you know, the problem is all the panic buying that's going on, and what it does is it instills a rush nature and herd mentality with everybody else in the supermarket that you're doing it. I'm wearing grey because I want to be the grey man. You can't see I'm a prepper generally by the way I look, by the way I dress, by the way I act. I'm just a normal guy who's got a different attitude to problems. I'll try and sort it out myself. Okay, so you're going to be buying water, if that's what you're going to be doing, stocking up on it. Get yourself some of those 5 litre ones. But don't go and clear it out, because you just, you know, you just set yourself up to be the obvious person. You know, so start collecting plastic containers, which you can then use in further opportunities to store more water. But if you're storing it, don't leave it in direct sunlight. Keep it out of the way, under cover, keep it cool. Okay, so that's water just covered for the first sort of intro. Okay, there could be more, far better ideas out there, but at least if you haven't considered it to begin with, water is a big thing. All right. Now, when it comes to food, just think basics, cheap, bulk, basics, cheap, bulk. So you're thinking about packets of rice. If you've got a choice between white and brown, I'd go for brown. There's more taste to it. Okay, if you're going for pasta, spaghetti has got less air and bulk in it than the squirrels and the twirls and the tubes. Okay, the macaronis, the rigatellis, the tagliatelles. Alright, so just packs, basic, of pasta, and you can get the big ones. But again, looking like you're just loading up 15 trolleys full of pasta, it just sets the herd off. Alright, that's pasta. What else is the similar sort of thing of pasta, high carbs, stores quite well, dry, well packaged, is rice. Okay, maybe consider doing polenta, because it does store quite well. Okay, so what else we got?